Brazil is one of my favorite countries on earth, so we're going to have lots to talk about.
We do, and there's so many different regions, and every region has different weather and different times of travel and different events like Carnival. So I'm not sure how we're going to talk about everything. Do you have a plan for us?
Yep, I got a plan for us.
Always good. So, in the meantime, also, if you scan my QR code, you can enter to win a Norwegian cruise. That is my quarterly giveaway. So please enter to win. And you can put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday on your comments across all of our platforms. We are streaming live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok will be coming if you guys follow me on TikTok, so please do. And then put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday, and we're going to do a drawing for a $50 off gift certificate for any Charlie the Traveler tour, any of his destinations that is booked through my agency. So please comment, even if you don't put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday. Please give us some good comments while we're going. All right, so let's get started, Charlie. The language in Brazil is Portuguese, which people may not know, but they do understand English as well, mostly.
Yeah, it's Portuguese, but Spanish, I speak Spanish. I don't speak Portuguese. But when I speak to them, they understand me and vice versa. So it's really not that tough. I just speak my Spanish. They speak their Portuguese, and we understand each other just fine.
And the currency is a little different as well.
Yeah.
Although they mostly take credit cards, they have ATMs to get local currency. But you can use your credit cards in USD almost everywhere, correct?
Yes. I mean, the main thing, almost everywhere takes credit card over there. It's surprising. Even these little, like, these food stalls, these independent food stalls. Like, I even joked, I said, well, here's my American Express. They took it over there. So everybody takes that's really surprising. But yeah, they take credit card everywhere over there.
And the safety is like being in any big city. You have to beware. It's not one of these really super safe places to be. So it's good to use caution, especially at night with taxis. You want to have more control. Maybe use your Uber. So it's not exactly one of the safest areas, I think, around the world.
There's certain parts of the country that give the rest of the country that reputation. Rio, Salvador, and Sao Paulo. Those three cities, and they do have their danger there. Once you leave those three cities, you're not going to feel anything stronger than anywhere else in the world. You feel relatively safe in most of the country. It's just those are, well, at least Sao Paulo is not as much of a tourist draw as Rio and Salvador, but Rio and Salvador are big tourist draws, and most people go to them on their first trip to Brazil. So that's how they kind of get that reputation. But once you're getting up to like the north, Porto de Galinas and Florianopolis and the Foz, Iguazu Falls and all this kind of stuff, you don't really feel the danger. Doesn't mean somebody can't hit you out of nowhere, but it's just not very common outside
And
of
of,
those two cities.
and of course, you have the Amazon, and so there's all sorts of different eco adventures you can do through the Amazon. And it's, I mean, they have predators. I mean, they have a little bit dangerous environment there around the Amazon. But of course, when you're with a tour provider, you're with a cruise company, however you decide to do it, you have that element of safety. That's one of the reasons why Charlie's tours are so popular, because you do have that hand holding around the whole country, and you can see all the highlights.
Exactly. So I typically split Brazil into two: North Brazil and South Brazil. I mean, if you have the time, cover the whole thing. Most people don't, and that's how they basically just choose one of the two parts of the country. Um, I have to say this: from the 94 countries I've been to and the 30 that we operate in, the most complicated flights on earth are Brazil.
Yeah.
The whole flight system, if you could figure it out, basically Go take a test to see if you're a scientist. You'll pass the test. Um,
That's why you need me.
so all those domestic flights, and then sometimes you're right here and you want to fly here, but then you basically have to fly all the way down here and then
Mm,
take a flight all the way back up here. So I mean that's why we have the logistics down. We know exactly how to cover the highlights of Brazil smoothly, but it's not common sense at all. So you can't just look on a map
right.
and say I'm going to fly from here to there. You really
Mm,
need to know logistically how to do it. And I remember when I put the whole thing together, I had to turn off my phone and everything for
mm,
days. Not, I mean, it
mm.
literally, I had one of my secretaries, she had access to me. Nobody else did because it was so like you make the slightest mistake, the whole thing's going to blow up in your face. So she was the only one who was allowed to contact me for like 2 days because I did not want to make a mistake on it. So knowing the right order in which to visit these destinations is very important. The other one is you have to book your domestic flights in advance. I mean, at least 4 or 5 weeks in advance. I have never seen anywhere else where airfare can spike overnight as much as Brazil. So
Mm,
some that's like 160, $170. Um, the next day you go look, it's 450.
mm.
Same
Yeah,
flight. So yeah, this is one of the problems that people that show up to Brazil thinking
mm,
it's like just Europe or something, and you can just kind of like bounce around on Ryanair and
right.
take some trains, take some this, bada bing, bada boom. No, Brazil is definitely a country that you need to have planned in advance, and that's
Mhm.
why my company is there. There's a reason why we're not in some of these other places in the world. New York or something. You just get on that hop on and off bus. You don't need me. Brazil is a country that you have to be well planned. You have to have it planned out before you arrive, and if you do, you can have the time of your life. It is my favorite country from the
Mm.
94 I had visited, but it became my favorite country after I did my homework. The first time I went there, I got stressed out. I left. So it took a little bit of research and experience for Charlie the Traveler to return over there and have basically the best time of my life because that's what happened every time I would
Right.
return.
And that's why I use a variety of suppliers in these countries. That the ones that fit Charlie's type of tour are the people who really want to see all over the country. They want to see the highlights. They want to do it in a very organized way, and get your best bang for the buck and really see everything. Charlie's great at that. I do have people who do a cruise and they just want a couple nights in Rio. There are all sorts of different possibilities in Brazil. And I'm Jewish, and there's a huge Jewish population in Sao Paulo. There's great Jewish heritage tours throughout, even though Brazil is known for harboring Nazi criminals after World War II. But they have worked very hard to combat that and to make sure that there's not that influence anymore in the country. That's why there's such a huge Jewish population now, and they work very hard at. They even have outlawed Holocaust denial. So they've gone farther than the United States in many ways. So for Jewish travelers, they do want to go there for the Jewish heritage options as well. Great synagogues, and of course you've got Christ the Redeemer also. So you have the Christian travelers as well. Very
Mhm.
diverse country.
It is. And then you have some stuff with the African traditions and roots, some
Mm.
of the practice from, that as well. And then you're going to see a little bit more of that in Salvador in the north.
Mm. And you've got Germans in the south, like a very heavy German influence, right?
Yeah, some people though they think that it's just this divide where in the South it's more like white people and in the North it's more black people. No, there's plenty of places up north. Puerto Seguro, for example, that's just a little bit south of Salvador, and it's just a bunch of white people. Um, so it's not so like as somebody would imagine, like a
Mm.
just
Racial
black
divide.
and white. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's it's mixed up because there's jobs, there's tourism, there's this, there's that. So, um, yeah, there are parts of the South that are more white, and there are parts of the North that are all black, but not so much like some people would think. They're both very beautiful parts of the country, and I couldn't pick one over the other. It's just The attractions on both sides, the north and south, are really big. Big
And
things
the
to see.
Iguazu Falls, I mean, the natural environment is just amazing.
That's right.
So, do you want to take us through? Do you want to do both tours one at a time and just kind of take us through each day and what you do?
Yeah. So I remember when, I mean, I've been more recently, but on one of my trips, I went for my 41st birthday over there. And it was the most crazy trip I ever did for myself. It really was. Because at that point, I was working 18 hours a day and I just really needed a break really badly. Um, and I just, yeah, that was probably one of the craziest trips I've done in my life. It's a good one. So when you get to Brazil, you're going to have to first ask yourself if you want to see the best wildlife in Brazil. And people are going to jump and say, yes, I do. There's a little bit of an obstacle to do it, though. It's not just this easy thing because people think it's the Amazon. No, the Amazon number one's in the north, and the Amazon is more about the trees, the water, and then depending how far deep you get in there, the people. Not so much for the animals. It's also very good for the eco lodges, very high end luxury eco lodges. If you want the crazy animals, that's the Pantanal. Pantanal. The Pantanal is somewhere that you reach through Sao Paulo, nowhere else. So the way you got to do that one, so you say, yeah, I got to see these animals. So basically, you need to fly first into Sao Paulo, which is the biggest city in the country. That night, you will sleep near to the airport. You're going to drive to a different airport. The airport you arrive in and the airport you're going to need for the following day are two different ones. So we pick you up, we take you to a hotel next to the airport that you're going to need for the following day. And then you fly to a place called Bonito. And Bonito is like the eco-tourism capital of Brazil. And it's the clearest water I've seen anywhere. It's cold water because it's river water, but it's the clearest water I've seen anywhere on this planet. And they got these crazy caves over there. And anybody that likes that kind of stuff, crystal caves and all that, that's the place to see it. Once you're in Bonito, on one of the days, we make a day trip to Pantanal. And you're taken on a boat and you'll see these animals. You're taken on a land tour and you'll see a lot of these crazy animals. But yeah, coolest animals I've seen in South America was the day trip from Bonito to Pantanal, which can really only be reached through Sao Paulo.
So, what kind of animals are we talking about that are there?
It depends, obviously, on the. Some of them are harder to see than others. You know, like jaguars, for example. You know, some of them you're going to see them less frequently than others. But like the jaguar is a big one. There's these anteaters that are over there. They've got these rodents that look like rats on steroids. You know, there's the tapirs. There's that one with the big old nose. There's the caiman. There's the caiman. There's a bunch of type of birds, obviously. You know,
I do have bird watchers who love to go down there. Yep.
That's a good place. You know, there's the anacondas over there. And they're all over. I mean, it's all over the place. So you're not going to have to look that hard to start seeing cool animals. You know, and then when you get on the boat, you see it. So yeah, if you want to do that, definitely I would do that at the very beginning of the trip. And that will mean that you need to fly into Sao Paulo.
Okay.
So there's only two places that you're going to fly into, either Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo. That's it. So if you want to do the animals and you want to do that clear water, the ecotourism capital of Brazil, fly into Sao Paulo. If not, fly into Rio. So otherwise, you're going to want to really start, after you do all that stuff, you're going to want to go to the falls, the Iguazu Falls. It's the second largest falls in the world after the ones in Zimbabwe. So there's no direct flight there. You're going to have to fly through Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. And
Mm.
often is the case, you're going to have to get your luggage because you're going to fly with like an American Airlines or Canadian Airlines or whatever, European Airlines. You're going to have to get your luggage, then take your luggage to a domestic flight to
Mhm.
get to Foz. And that's where the waterfalls are. So it's just a matter of getting your luggage, checking into another flight.
Right.
Uh, and those falls split three countries: Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay.
Mm.
So, we show it from both the Argentinian side and the Brazilian side, and they're both cool.
Mm.
Because on the Brazilian side, that's like just the most picturesque view of it, because you
Mhm.
see it from a distance. And then on the Argentinian side, that's where you have the boat, and you get really close. And so, if you get a good captain, they get, they like to put their nose right there and just like spray you with it.
Yeah,
Um,
is it like the Niagara Falls boats where you wear your plastic and you're
yeah,
really in it? Yeah.
yeah, hmm yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly right. And then there's a nice little train ride you do on the Argentinian side. And don't forget the other way to see it, and I recommend it, and this is something that we include in our tour, is the flight seeing tour over the falls.
Mm.
So you're seeing it from the boat, you're seeing it from the land, then you're seeing it from a bird's eye view above.
Mm.
So that's, also worthwhile, different perspective. And I wouldn't choose one over the other. I would do all basically.
So, do you spend any time in Argentina or Paraguay, or you just really are just staying on the Brazil side after that?
You make a day trip to the Argentinian side and then return to the Brazilian side. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's how that one is done. So yeah, on that second day, you go to the Argentinian side. It's called
Mm.
the Devil's Throat Circuit. That's what that is. So,
Mm.
and you take a train once you're inside there. They kind of show you some cool places, and then you do the boat, and then you do that helicopter.
Mm.
Um, and then the next day is when you do the Brazilian side. The nice thing is you do it really early in the morning, and you see this rainbow. It's a gorgeous rainbow. My God! So you make sure you get there nice and early in the morning.
Mm. Is the
And
rainbow always there, even without rain?
well, it's because of the waterfalls.
The
That's what's awesome.
waterfall rainbow. Ah, okay.
Yeah, but you see it best in the morning. The brighter it gets, the
Mm.
weaker it is. So when right in the
Ah,
morning, it is just like a really sharp, really like
hmm.
the contrast is strong.
Beautiful.
So yeah, and then before you leave that whole area, there's also this nice little park. It's called the Park de Aves, and there's like a bunch of animals that you can see inside there, monkeys and butterflies and parrots and
Mm.
caimans and all that. But yeah, people are going to Foz first and foremost for the waterfalls.
And I mean, Argentina is known for churrascario, steaks, and wine and rodeos. I mean, are you seeing that kind of stuff all over Brazil as well as Argentina?
Uh, a little bit. There are parts of Brazil that have that similar culture to what you're describing in Argentina.
Hmm.
Uruguay also has that, by the way.
Yeah.
It's in the very south of Brazil. You don't see it as much there, just because there's a lot of other like big attractions um, that you're taken to. In Argentina, it's more like San Antonio de Areco, like that's one of the places that you're talking about. Brazil, it's they do have that in the far south, but fewer tourists go there.
And Joanne is right. There's fabulous steaks all over Argentina.
Yeah, that is the case. Uh, so from Foz, what you then do is you take a flight to Florianopolis. Hopefully, there's a direct flight. You never know. I mean, one day they change it so much, but one way or another, we get you to Florianopolis, and this is kind of one of the places to be and be seen in Brazil. It's a very fashionable area because they have this kind of island around the city called Santa
Mm.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I need more water.
Do you
Um,
want me to give you a break and I could talk about the QR code? All right.
as opposed, well, because you realize there's no stopping me talking about Brazil. I can go on for hours with this thing.
I'll let you have a break on your throat. So while we're giving Charlie a break, go ahead and scan the QR code in the corner and enter to win the Norwegian cruise, which is our giveaway for the quarter. You can also follow me all over. All of my links are in there. So please follow my YouTube channel. We are streaming live all over. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So you can follow us everywhere. And please put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday into your comments, and you can win a $50 gift certificate towards any Charlie the Traveler tour that you book through my agency, Dream Vacations, Laney Melnick and Associates in the Westlake Hills area of Austin, Texas. Okay, so I think we gave Charlie some time to get his throat moistened.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right. Okay, so we were in, where were we? Florianus, or what's it called?
No, Florianopolis.
Florianopolis. Sorry.
With a slip of the tongue, the word can change very quickly. So, yeah, it's a fashionable place to be. There's a lot of things to see. It takes a good 2 days to really cover the different places, and there's beautiful beaches over there. Some really good restaurants. Some of our customers' favorite restaurants are over there in Florianopolis, and some nice places to see just the landscape of the waters, the clear waters, and all this kind of stuff. So, and then it's got all these like resort bars too. They got all these very fun resort bars. So it's not just the beach, the beauty of the beach. You've got these fashionable resort bars and stuff, and just music and people. So that kind of thing that you're thinking of Brazil, with people that are just with nice music and beach bars and some dancing on the beach and all that kind of stuff. Florianopolis.
So it's not beach weather all the time. So when would be the best place or the best time of year to hit the beaches?
Well, the best time to go to the south of Brazil generally is November through April. And it will change obviously a little bit just because the country is so long.
Right.
But December through March is like the most popular time to go to Florianopolis. Some people like to go in the winter, which is May through August, because there's an opportunity to go surfing. But I would say November through April, or if you want to narrow it in a little bit more, like the peak season months, December through March for Florianopolis.
Okay, and would that work for Rio beaches as well?
Rio's good year round, but yeah, November through April are the best months.
And I would caution people who want to go for Carnival that you need to book well in advance. If you're going to do a Carnival vacation, it's just like Mardi Gras. It's just like any festival anywhere in the world. You have to plan in advance to make sure you get good accommodations and your air.
That's right. That's right. And I've done that. We'll talk about that in a minute too, because
Okay.
that might be a show unto itself, to be honest with you. But, and then after you've left Florianopolis, you're going to fly to Belo Horizonte, and this is a different state now of Brazil. This was like the whole colonial, like one of the most colonial areas of Brazil. The whole country's colonial, but this one was a big one because that's where they had all the diamonds. So there's a lot of extraction of diamonds and all this kind of stuff. So the Portuguese were dropping money and building infrastructure, building towns, all this kind of stuff. So Mariana is one of the towns, cute little towns over there. The best one, though, the big attraction is Ouro Preto. That one you feel like you're in Spain. You're in Portugal. I mean, it's just straight up like Portuguese to the max, with the cobblestone streets and just the whole thing. You're going to feel like you're in Europe over there.
Beautiful. Of course, that makes me think that accessibility is going to be an issue. And that would be probably for around the falls as well. When you go to a different country, you're used to the United States ADA rules. It's totally different in other countries. So how would you say people with mobility issues can handle this kind of a trip?
I mean, you're going to be better off on the boat rides and that kind of thing. Some of it's going to be hard. I mean, the Foz Iguazu. I mean, there's the catwalk. So
Mm,
you know, and it's a little bit wet, a little bit bumpy, that kind of thing. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's still because you got wood parts and you're going to feel that vibration. Um, and then when you get onto the boat, you have to go down all those stairs. There's no other way. There's
uh,
just the stairs to get there.
hmm,
Um, so there are certain limitations for it. So it could be done. It's just certain things we have to eliminate, like for example, taking the stairs down to take that boat ride to
mm,
see the falls. But other things are easier. Getting on the helicopter to see it from above is okay.
mm,
Doing Florianopolis, because that one's easy because you got a private vehicle. You know,
mm,
um, so it's going to be a day by day sort of thing where we'd have to make some adjustments
mm.
to accommodate your needs. But of course,
Okay.
some things here and there would just not be able to access for them.
And of course, one of the things I love about doing Charlie's tours is that you can customize. It's very easy to either remove a day or add a day. You can leave any day of the week or the day of the year that you want to leave. It's not a set tour that must leave on these dates, which, like if you go with Globus, Trafalgar, any of these other tour providers, if you're doing a group tour, that's the way they do it. But Charlie's are customized. So my clients can choose the day they want to leave, how many days of the tour they want to do, if they want to upgrade their rooms to suites, if they want to be in 5-star hotels only, all of that can be customized for you. Okay,
That's right.
sorry.
So we have recommended durations,
Hmm.
and people who have more time, we can kind of add to it. Maybe because they just want to hang out by the beach a little bit and take breaks here and there. So we have like a tour to the south of Brazil, and that one is 12 days.
Mm,
I'm sorry, 11 days. And then the North Brazil tour is 13 days, you know. So sometimes people just want a day here and there to relax by the beach. Sometimes people want to see a little bit more of the country. So they'll do like the South Brazil and add just a little bit of the North.
hmm.
We do it based on how much time people have.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so take us back to where we were in your tour.
Um, Ouro Preto, it's cobblestone. So that one for people who have disabilities,
Right,
that's going to be harder because it's going up and down the hill there.
right.
Um, but after Ouro Preto, you return to Belo Horizonte, and now you're flying to Rio. You know, um, some of the best nightlife anywhere I've seen in the world is Rio de Janeiro.
Yes.
It's like nothing on this planet. There's some places, Thailand, I've seen some places come close, Greece, but Brazil, just something about it that is just it's a big deal, and the attractions in Brazil are really a big thing. We give you an overview in one day, but I mean you need a good 6 days to cover it all. Most people don't have that time, so we just kind of give you an overview in one day, unless people ask for more, and then we give them more. And that one day we take you to the Redeemer statue, the one of Jesus.
Hmm.
Take you to the National Theater and some other of the major highlights over there. But yeah,
I,
it's a cool city.
I've had clients who requested the opera. They were, requested seeing certain nightlife cultural events, and of course we can fit in whatever interesting sideline you want to do.
Now, there's also important day trips to make from Rio de Janeiro. The city
Mm,
itself is a destination in its own right, but there's also a couple really important day trips. So one of them, it's called Costa Verde, or in English, the Green Coast.
mm,
And it'll go to this place called Ilha Grande, and it looks just like that. It's a green coast, really
mm.
smooth waters. The only problem there is it often rains, so hopefully you're visiting in a time where it's not raining. Even November through April, it rains over there.
Mm.
Um, but the water is really nice when it's not raining. And it's a perfect day just to go on the boat and snorkeling and all of this. So
Mm.
the other one is to Buzios. It's a resort called Buzios.
Mhm.
This one's a little bit crazy. It is a very packed day. It's the only day that we make it this packed so much. You start at 6 o'clock in the morning and you get back at 10
Mm.
o'clock at night.
Wow.
It's a packed one. So when people say, no, we don't want that, what we do then is just extend the duration, and we'll add a night in Buzios and then return you to Rio the following day. A lot of people don't
Mm.
want that though, because you have to check out of your hotel in Rio, put your
Right.
stuff in the car, get to Buzios, check in, next day, check out,
Mm.
you know. So people
Right.
just say, you know what, I'll do it. Just I'll wake up early.
Mm.
And that day we really pack it. We've shown you the best resort towns. You're taking on a boat ride to some of the coolest beaches in the south of Brazil.
Mm.
Uh, and these are hotspots. These are places that people are hanging out with music and the whole thing. So that day we pack it a lot. And Buzios itself, it's kind of what Mykonos is to Greece. That's their
Mm.
that's their thing over there.
Yeah,
So
I've actually had clients who only wanted to go to Buzios, just go straight there, just do the beaches. I know. I get everybody.
well, all right, you can do that too. Um, so yeah, for people who just want to hang out and relax and that sort of thing, that's a place where we would say, hey, you have more than 11 days for South Brazil. We can add a day or two just for you to be around, all the music and vibe and all this kind of stuff. I understand if you want to stay in Buzios for a couple of nights to just hang out. So it makes sense, but a lot of people, they're kind of tight on time.
Mhm.
And that's where we try to really show them the highlights, not miss anything, and do it within their time constraints.
So are there, as a diver, I am always asking, is it good diving down there? I don't think I've heard about good diving in Brazil. Do you know?
Not as much, but there's a place called Fernando de Noronha
Mm.
that is off the coast of Recife. That's in the middle of the country. It's not so much for diving, but you'll see like dolphins and
Oh.
other types of animals over there.
Mm.
So that's a very expensive place, though, by the way. Um, just to throw that out there.
That's okay. My clients love that.
Yeah, yeah. My don't. But yeah, so it's Fernando de Noronha. You're going to see a bunch of cool animals in the water over there. But otherwise, the better snorkeling, it's in the south. It's near that
Mm.
Costa Verde, one of the 2-day trips from Rio de Janeiro.
So were those the only 2-day trips you usually do?
From Rio, yeah. And if
Okay,
people
so
want,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
and if people want more, if they
Mm.
have more time, and they're in Rio, we say, hey, we can show you more of Rio because there's really a lot to show you in Rio. So that one
Mm.
day, we're giving you an overview of the city, but there's a lot.
So that was the North tour, correct?
No, that was the south.
Oh, that was the South. Oh, the whole thing was the South tour with the Iguazu
Only
Falls?
That's only the south. The north
Oh,
is north is a
okay.
different.
I thought we were talking about the North. Oh,